I remember now.
Hello and welcome to All That Cricket. Let us see how outsiders became champions. It happened twice in the World Cup, all of them in succession. The first time it happened in '83 when India won the World Cup. Then in '87 when Australia won their first World Cup. Then in 1992 when Pakistan won their only World Cup. Now back in the 80s, West Indies were the supreme champions and they were the firm favourites to win their third successive World Cup, having won the first two quite convincingly. They were all geared up for the third one. But it all changed. The turning point of that World Cup was a match between Zimbabwe and Australia. Zimbabwe was playing well for the very first time, and in their first ever one-day match, they defeated Australia. The same day, West Indies was playing India. The match continued the next day, but they lost their match to India. It was a shocker for everybody. Although the result both for Australia and West Indies didn't matter, but it gave a sense of belief for Indians, who went on to win the World Cup by defeating West Indies in the finals. This was the first time an outsider came out to win the World Cup. This is the first time an outsider became a champion. Then the World Cup moved to Asia in 1987. It was hosted by both Pakistan and India, who were favourites to win the World Cup. But it was Australia, the dark horse of that tournament. They became champions. They went on to beat England in the finals. Then the World Cup moved to Australia. It was about after 5 years. In 1992, both Australia and New Zealand were hosting that World Cup, and the format had changed that time. It was structured in such a way that each team plays against each other at least once, and there were more than 3 to 4 teams as favourites to win that tournament, including South Africa, who were playing for the very first time, and they had brilliantly performed in that tournament. But it was Pakistan who came from behind and went on to win the World Cup. This was the third time an outsider became a champion.
We start with India. They were the first outsiders to win a World Cup, but decided to perform well a year before the World Cup, in '82. That time, they had won 5 out of 9 games, which included a series win against England and Sri Lanka at home and their first ever one-day match win in West Indies. Then the World Cup happened. The success rate between '82 and '83 was fantastic, 61% win ratio, which was very good for them during that period of time. But after September '83, things started to go down for the Indians as West Indies toured India. They were on a mission led by angry Clive Lloyd, who had changed his decision of retiring as he wanted to avenge their World Cup loss against India. They came to India and pulverized the Indians in both formats, winning the Test series 3-0 and all one-day games. India for some time had a low period. 1984 saw them winning only 18%, losing series to Australia, Pakistan and England. Then they decided to rise again, winning 2 consecutive or 3 successive one-day series, including the prestigious Benson Hedges tournament in Australia. During that period, India's batting flourished, with new players like Mohammad Azharuddin and Raman Lamba doing well, and Ravi Shastri moving up the order, opening with Srikanth, who gave India a solid and fast start, so that the strong, experienced middle order, led by the captain Sunil Gavaskar, played with great freedom, along with their veterans like Vengsakar and Kapil Dev. India went on to the World Cup in '87 as firm favourites, although they lost to England in semi-finals, but their success rate during that World Cup was 71%. Australia became the second outsiders to win the World Cup in 87. It happened after India won in 83. They were the dark horses. The World Cup for the first time shifted from England. It came to Asia, and both India and Pakistan, who were the host, were also the favourites to win it. But just before the World Cup, Australia were losing consistently to England in both Test matches and One Days. They lost 2 Benson Hedges series in Australia, and then England won the Sharjah Cup in April 87. But Australia became champions when they defeated England at Eden Gardens in the World Cup final. It was a close match as Australia won by 7 runs in the final over. This helped them to raise their performance as their success rate started to peak, and at the end of the decade it climbed from 50 to 80% success. They started to beat the Windies side consistently, both home and also in West Indies. Their top order was the key to success. Boone Marsh opening stand flourished and gave the Aussies the start they wanted. They were followed by Dean Jones, who during that period of time was the best ever one-day batsman. He was very intimidating to all the bowlers, even the West Indians. He was as aggressive as Viv Richards, but not only with the bat but also with his mouth. He was a white lion. He was followed by ever reliable skipper Alan Border. Then Waugh brothers filled in the batting order. In bowling, Australia were not as threatening as other countries, but were very accurate and economical, led by McDermott and spinner Peter Taylor, who were ably supported by all-rounders Steve Waugh and O'Donnell. And they had an excellent fielding side, which helped the bowlers to pick wickets consistently. This was the rise of Australia till 92. In all the World Cups till 87, Pakistan were either favourites or second favourites to win. But in 92, they were the rank outsiders under Imran Khan's captaincy. But they went on to win from behind by beating England in the finals. Their victory is a folklore in Pakistan. Their fight back was similar to a cornered tiger. But as far as the champion side is concerned, there is no team ever has won a World Cup with just 60% win rate. Because out of 10 games, they had won only 6 and lost 3. One was an abandoned game against England, which was a lucky break for them in that World Cup. After this, Imran Khan, their victorious captain, retired from cricket, and Pakistan's performance became erratic. Inconsistency crept in, and they started to lose regularly against better sides. They could win only at home and at Sharjah, and most of the times they won against lesser sides like Sri Lanka and Zimbabwe. But between December 93 to August 94, they had a small winning streak where they won 3 consecutive series, 4 in all. Then the slide happened, a bad fall, as they were unable to win a single series between September 94 till World Cup 1996, which was again held in subcontinent, and they lost to India in the quarterfinals.